I'll never forget the look on her face when she said it. We were standing in the kitchen, voices low but sharp, cutting through the quiet of our home. My wife, Laura, leaned against the counter with her arms crossed, her lips curled in that familiar smirk she wore whenever she thought she had won. "You'll never leave me," she said, calm, confident, certain. She didn't say it out of love. She didn't say it because she thought our marriage was strong. She said it because she believed she owned me. Because in her mind, no matter how bad things got, no matter how many insults she threw, I was too weak to walk away. And the worst part? For years, she was right. I stayed through the cold shoulders. I stayed through the mockery. I stayed when she dismissed me in front of our friends, making me feel small, invisible. I told myself I was being strong, that love was supposed to mean endurance. But deep down, I was afraid. Afraid of starting over, afraid of admitting that the woman I had chosen no longer respected me. But that night, something in me broke. Her words weren't just arrogant. They were a challenge, a dare. And as soon as she said them, I realized she was right about one thing. I had never left. But what she didn't realize was that the man she thought was hers to control was gone. That night, I packed a bag. No yelling, no threats, just quiet movements through the house while she scrolled on her phone, oblivious to the fact that her smug certainty had just ended our marriage. I walked out. And I swear, it felt like I was breathing for the first time in years. But I didn't walk into silence. I walked into something no one, not even I, expected. Her closest friend, Sophie. Sophie had been around since the early days of our marriage. She and Laura were inseparable, at least on the surface. They had brunches, shopping trips, nights out. To me, Sophie was the cheerful one, the peacemaker, the one who often smoothed over Laura's sharp edges in social settings. But Sophie wasn't blind. She saw the way Laura treated me. She saw the digs, the dismissive tone, the public humiliation. And unlike everyone else, she didn't just ignore it. She'd pull me aside sometimes, asking quietly, "Are you okay?" Her eyes would hold mine a little longer than necessary, like she wanted me to know someone actually saw me. The night I left, I didn't know where else to go. I ended up at a bar, staring into a half-empty glass, wondering if I had just made the biggest mistake of my life. That's when I heard her voice. "Ben?" I looked up, and there she was, Sophie. Same warm eyes, same calm presence. But tonight, there was something different in the way she looked at me. Like she knew, like she had been waiting for this moment. "What are you doing here?" she asked, sliding into the seat across from me. I laughed bitterly. "I could ask you the same thing. Shouldn't you be with Laura?" She shook her head. "Not tonight. And honestly, I think she's made her bed." Something in her tone made me pause. We sat there in silence for a moment, the noise of the bar fading into the background. Then I said it. "I left her." Her eyes widened slightly, but she didn't look surprised. She just nodded slowly, like she had been expecting it all along. "Good," she whispered. "You deserve better a long time ago." Those words cracked something open in me. All the years of being unseen, unwanted, disrespected, it all poured out. I told her everything. How Laura had treated me. How she had said I'd never leave. How those words had finally pushed me out the door. Sophie listened. Really listened, the way Laura hadn't in years. And when I finally ran out of words, she reached across the table and took my hand. "You're not the weak man she thinks you are," she said softly. "You're stronger than she ever gave you credit for." It was such a simple gesture, but in that moment, it felt like the most intimate thing I had experienced in years. For the first time, I felt wanted, respected, seen. One drink turned into two, two into three, and before I knew it, we were walking out together into the cool night air. The silence between us wasn't awkward. It was charged, filled with everything we weren't saying. When we reached her car, I hesitated. "Sophie, this isn't right. You're her friend." She looked at me with a sad smile. "I was her friend, but she stopped being mine a long time ago, and I won't stand by and watch her destroy you." Her words lingered in the air, and then she stepped closer. I could feel the warmth of her breath, see the sincerity in her eyes. For the first time in years, someone wasn't pushing me down. They were pulling me up. That night, I walked out of my wife's house and into Sophie's arms. It wasn't about revenge. It wasn't about betrayal. It was about finding myself again. About realizing that love isn't supposed to feel like endurance. It's supposed to feel like home. And with Sophie, that's what it felt like. Of course, when Laura found out, the explosion was nuclear. She screamed, she cursed, she called me every name in the book. "You'll come crawling back," she spat, her voice shaking with fury. But she was wrong. For the first time in my life, I didn't crawl. I stood tall, I walked forward, and I didn't look back. Because the truth is, when someone tells you you'll never leave, what they really mean is they believe they own you. But love isn't ownership, and respect isn't optional. Laura lost both the night she tried to break me with her arrogance, and I found both in the arms of someone she never expected, her closest friend. And that, more than anything, is what shocked her. Not that I left, but that I finally proved I could.